sadly, it ended in another nail-biting experience for Ghana at the 2022 CHAN tournament ongoing in Algeria. On that note, I welcome you to Niger Super Fans Forum. My name is Olafemi Mashalu. Of course, today we'll be doing this from home. James Agberebi will be my co-pilot on the show today, or passenger, if you wish to say, on the show today. So much to talk about. Of course, we'll be talking about a reaction of Ghanaians to the Black Galaxies exit in the hands of Niger Republic. A lot of them are really pouring out their anger on social media to Dr. Kotokraku, to the GFA, even to the players themselves. And of course, a lot of people are saying that perhaps the money issue, remember the bonus controversy that's mad the preparation of the Black Galaxies before the game against Nigeria. A lot of people said perhaps it was the reason why they didn't do well at all in that game. Of course, we'll be talking about African Player of the Week. That is one segment that I've been introducing on the show, African Player of the Week. Who do you think deserves to be African Player of the Week? So we'll bring in a number of African players, their performance over the weekend. They will put it on that spotlight. And of course, would decide who will be our African Player of the Week. And remember the match fixing scandal, maybe the worst that has ever hit the world of football in Sierra Leone last year, July 2022, where a total of 187 goals were scored in 180 minutes. Yeah, it was not a basketball game, it was a football game. 2 matches, 187 goals. And up till now, 7 months after, we've not heard anything from the Sierra Leone FA. So those are what we'll be looking out to do on the show. James Agberebi, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Femi.
Okay, so let's get started, James. You and I talked about the controversy about the bonus payment that hit the camp of the Black Galaxies before the game against Niger Republic. And we thought that they would be able to put that behind them. But unfortunately, 2-0. And of course, Coach Arno Walker has said that he doesn't think his side deserves to lose to Niger Republic. But in the game that I saw, I think the Black Galaxies were appalling, James.
Yeah, I want to agree with you, Femi. I watched the game and I was surprised. You know, in our previous edition, I told you that I was banking on the Black Galaxies to win, you know, especially after the defeat they suffered in the hands of Madagascar. You know, so I thought maybe they were able to bounce back from that setback, but unfortunately, they lost 2-0. You know, even at 1-0, I was still expecting them to bounce back to take the victory. But I also a team that they lacked passion, they lacked commitment, you know, they lacked organization. They were just playing as if there was nothing at stake. You know, unlike the Niger Republic players who are, you see the way they were playing, you know that this is a team that was well organized. They know what to do. They know how to defend, when to go on the break. And, you know, it was an appalling performance from the Black Galaxies. I never expected that from them. You know, I thought from the first setback against, like I said, they would have built into the competition. But, I mean, they just showed everyone that like the victory against Sudan was just a fluke, you know. So it was a shocking result for me, honestly, because this kind of result that bring the league into bad lights, you know. I mean, Niger Republic, without sounding too harsh or too being disrespectful, I don't know the kind of football they play in Niger Republic. I don't even know any of their top clubs, you know. For them to now, the way they just overcame the Black Galaxies, you know. So to me, it was a shocking result. I never expected it. I was looking forward to Ghana Algeria semi-final. I didn't know that the Nigerians had the other ideas. I remember they defeated Cameroon, so I thought the victory against Cameroon would have kind of spurred Ghana on, you know, not to take them lightly. But I mean, they were just so clueless. They played as if they were just meeting themselves for the first time. From the defense to the attack, there was no code. You know, everything was just so messed up. And for Anawaka to come out and say he didn't expect his team to lose, I mean, we all saw the game. So, I mean, the better side.
He said he didn't deserve to lose. He was trying to imply that his team played well. But I didn't see in the game that I saw.
No, I didn't see. I don't know. Maybe because can never rule out the issue of the bonus. Maybe that played a part also. You know, so for me, that team didn't deserve to lose. I mean, if you whoever watched that game, you know that even the Nigerians, they deserve to win that game, but they played well. I mean, the Black Galaxies, I was very disappointed in them, because the prediction I made they just throw it out the window. So for me, they just have to go back home and prepare for the next edition.
Okay, of course, you've talked about the upset in this tournament, Nigeria, and I think Madagascar, they are the other upset in this tournament. They had
Yeah.
the surprise team, not even Nigeria for me, Madagascar, their debut in the tournament, and they are now in the semi-final. And I
Semi-final.
just
Yeah.
think that, I just think that they might be qualifying for the first final. But James, let's look at some of the reactions from Ghanaians very quickly. One said, Dr. Koto Kraku, you failed terribly. Another said, GFA and Koto Kraku must bow their heads in shame. Black Galaxies day of shame. Another one said, first it was Comoros against the Black Stars. Now it's Niger Republic against Black Galaxies. And another one asked, he said, how did the Black Galaxies reach the knockout stage? James, remember 2021 AFCON? Of course, we thought that, okay, what to qualify for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. At the World Cup, it was another a similar narrative.
Yeah.
Now, Chan again, Chan. And if you look at the qualifiers, this unworker side, the qualifiers and the preparation for the tournament, you expect more. So they've disappointed a lot of people, James, very quickly.
Not only Ghanaian, they disappointed everybody, including myself, because I was banking on them. You know, especially what you just said now. The qualifiers they played, they were so flawless. They did very well. They took out Nigeria, and then some of the friendly games they played. You know, they showed they gave everybody hope. But the tournament proper, I mean, they were just a shadow of themselves. Lost to Madagascar, lost to Niger Republic. I mean, we all thought we've overcome the disappointment of the last AFCON. In a way, they lost to Comoros Island. You know that there are other teams, Ménas, who are still waiting in the wings to
Sorry,
take them
James,
out.
that means in the tournament they played 3 matches and they lost 2, technically. So I was even thinking that if Morocco had been in this tournament, it's possible that the Black Galaxies wouldn't have made it out of the group.
Exactly. That was what could have happened. You know, because it was as if it was the 3 points and 3 goals they got, you know, by default. That was what even helped them to get to the quarterfinals. And you know, from the quarterfinals, everybody thought from there they will build from that stage, you know, and go on to do something in the semi-final, you know. But so everybody's surprised. The way they just bow out from the competition. I mean, it was appalling. It's not something nice to look at. I don't know, maybe because another aspect that we might look at again, the absence of Daniel Afri, maybe it also contributed to their defeat. You know, because if you check out the attack was so porous, but there was nothing there. You see them build from the back. When they get to their final third, they just run out of ideas. You know, so it's a bad return to the chance for them. You know, compared to their last edition in 2014 when they went all the way to the final. But this time around, I mean, the manner in which they crashed out, it's sad. It doesn't speak well of the way we've hyped the Ghanaian league. I mean, they didn't show good representation at all.
Yeah, so I think it left to be seen if the GFA will decide to sack Alan Walker in the coming days, because people are angry, disappointed about the performance of the Black Galaxies. But I think they got $400,000 for at least reaching the quarterfinals of the tournament. And of course, one of the Black Galaxies player, David Abagna, will be joining Al Hilal of Sudan after the tournament. So I think it's at least he used the opportunity.
Something good came out of it.
Yeah. So eventually something good came out. But I think that is the ultimate opportunity that a lot of them actually missed. It will have been an opportunity for them to showcase themselves and maybe eventually get their dream move to Europe. Okay, James, let's talk about.
Sorry, because remember when I said that some of these players, they should use this platform to sell themselves. It's not look at the money issue. I mean, just use this opportunity, sell yourself, go to better club. From there, your career can take off. But you know, the way it looks like now, it's as if you're starting all over again. You come back home and hoping that a club will just come someday and just have a look in them and just take them on. And so for me, it's a big opportunity miss for most of these players, except those that were able to get offers from outside Ghana. So that's just it.
Okay, so the semi-final pairing, Algeria versus Niger, that is going to be very tricky one for Algeria. They are the host, like I said, I think they are the favorite to win, but I think it's going to be very tricky for them. Senegal versus Madagascar. James, this Madagascar team, I saw the way they ran over Mozambique 3-1. It means they played 3 matches in this tournament and they conceded only 2 goals.
And they won
even
everything.
The goal they conceded against, the goal they conceded against Mozambique was late in the game. They've been very, very fantastic. So I see them playing Algeria in the final. So the semi-final matches will be taking place tomorrow. Yes, let's talk about Thomas Partey. Of course, Arsenal has been very crucial and central to Arsenal's drive this season in the Premier League. And of course, I think they have about 50% chance of winning the Premier League this season, if you ask me, as things currently stand. But injury has been one major concern about him. And of course, he's gone MRI. And I think there's good news that he will be fit to face Everton this weekend. But James, is it that very central to Arsenal? If you remove Thomas Partey from this Arsenal team, what do you think will be left, particularly in the midfield?
Femi, I think Partey's absence will be a big loss to Arsenal. So because I think the way Mikel Arteta has built this team for this season, Partey is a key factor in that team. If you watch out, if he's not in the team, I mean, people like Xhaka, people like Odegaard, the defense, and some of the guys in the attack, you see that they will know that there's something missing. Because Partey is that player who is always there to mop up things. His kind of player is the one that they don't really get the shine. It's the forward players that get all the praises and everything. But it's those people who really know what football is about that will tell you that Partey is one key factor in that Arsenal team. That's why they are going all out for Moses Caicedo from Brighton. Yeah. Somebody that they feel is similar to Partey because they can't do the way Samuel Konga, some of the games he has played, he has not really impressed. So they don't want to take chances. So for me, Partey, losing Partey will cost Arsenal. That's me personally now. I'm saying it's going to be a big loss if if something bad happens to him, because the way they are structured, look at the game they lost against Man City. Immediately he didn't come out for the second half. I mean, you saw the way what happened to Arsenal. There was nobody who was holding on to the ball. There was nobody who was doing all those important stuff. But it's as if Xhaka had extra work to do. Even Lukonga at some point, Odegaard was kind of screaming at him, because the way he was out of position. So for me, Partey is very central. He's going to play a key role if Arsenal is going to win this league. Remember the only game they've lost this season against Man U. He was not in that game. In the second leg, he took part and they won. So Partey is a big factor, a bigger one. And to me, it's even the biggest. So whatever they can do to make sure that stays fit, they just have to keep doing it, honestly.
True word from a passionate Arsenal fan. James, let's talk about Liverpool. Liverpool, they've also been very dismal this season, and over the weekend they were dumped out of the FA by Brighton, beaten for the second time, for the second consecutive time this season. For the first time, it is happening in Brighton history. But Africans who support Liverpool, they saw a lot of things in that game, and they've expressed their concern, particularly how they feel that a jogging club has been showing favoritism towards Mohamed Salah, who they said has been below par this season. And they quickly pointed out the fact that club didn't do enough to protect Mane, that if he had done so, if he had actually shown that he wanted Mane at all costs, he would have ensured that Liverpool management give Mane what he wanted, and he wouldn't have needed to go away. And quickly, some of them on social media, they said Liverpool didn't want to pay Mane extra, yet gave Salah £350,000 a week. These are from Africans, not even Europeans now. Another one said, I'm happy club is struggling for not protecting Mane. Another one says, club's favoritism will cost us. He shouts at Thiago, but silent on Salah's atrocious performances. James, do you agree with them that club didn't do enough to show that he wanted Mane? Because you've seen managers who will convince the coach, the team rather, the management of the club to do everything they can to make sure a player doesn't leave. Do you think club didn't do that for Mane?
I mean, sometimes, some of these players, even though you try to make them stay, maybe they made up their mind. And sometimes maybe the club they're going to, when they look at the offers and they feel, okay, I'm going to earn more. compared to where I'm
But sorry, Jay,
coming
but why
from.
would someone like Sadio Mane wants to leave Liverpool, where he has won titles,
Femi,
if the team, even more than what Bayern are going to offer him,
Femi, see, let me
if they
tell you
are
something.
giving
One
him,
thing, Femi, one thing I've observed about this Liverpool team is a team that is kind of diminishing return as setting in this team, whether I like it or not. This team was built from 2016, and that's how many years now. So for me, it's like a downward slope for them. They don't have the legs anymore to do those can get pressing thing, and so I think it was the right time for Sadio Mane to leave to even another big European club in Bayern Munich, where he's guaranteed of winning the Bundesliga. And so for me, whether Partey stays or not, for me, I feel the team has gotten to its peak. They don't have the legs anymore. Check out the midfield. You have Jordan Anderson, you have Thiago Alcantara, you have Fabio. These guys, they cannot do it anymore. They've been doing it for like 3, 4, 5 years now. So it's like they've been found out. So all those you are pressing from attack, and the sad part again there is but that's why I don't want to place everything down to Mane's exit. It might be part of the reason, but for me, I think the team needs kind of restructuring. They have to start like all over again. Because I mean, what kind of pattern club wants to bring out that they don't know? They know that the style is to press, but the players currently there. Do they have the legs to do all those can get pressing to? I mean, look at the Arsenal team. They are a very young team, so they can run all day. So I mean, to me, that's why I said they've been kind of found out. So it's like they have to start all over again. As like going back to square one. So what do you call Mohamed Salah they've seen it all, done it all, won everything. So I think the team needs refreshing. They just have to start like all over again. If it means getting even another manager to come up with another plan, another direction, I think that's what will happen. Look at somebody like Trent Arnold. Look at the likes of what's it called? Van Dijk getting injured. He's not even stable anymore. So all the guys,
okay, James, quickly, would if he continues this way, would you also expect Sadio Mohamed Salah to leave Liverpool?
Well, at some point, he just had to leave because it seems like nothing is working. I mean, they met Brighton. Brighton is not one of the biggest teams in England. Forget the fact that they are doing well this season. They are not one of the big teams in England. And Liverpool played them 3 times and they lost twice. They drew 1. I mean, you just go to show that it's beyond just Mane's exit. Look at a player like what is it called? James Milner. That guy is almost 40. He's still playing for Liverpool. He doesn't have the legs anymore. Look at when he played against Chelsea. He had to bring down Mudryk. Well, he couldn't cope with the pace of Mudryk. What is it called? Naby Keita is injury prone. Oxlade, the former Arsenal guy, he plays this week. The next week is treatment room. So that's why I said this Liverpool team, they need to rejiggle that team. They need a new ideas. The club even said it himself that if not for his past achievement, he would have been kicked out. Liverpool is a big club, so they can't continue this downward slide. So they are only the Champions League to fight for now. And I mean, so for me, that's the way I see it.
Okay, James, let's talk about Inaki Williams. He's had 251 consecutive games for Atletico Bilbao since 2016 in the Spanish La Liga. And of course, they said every good thing must come to an end. Over the weekend, he couldn't play in their 1-0 defeat away at Celta Vigo because he holds that record in La Liga. And of course, he said the physical difficulty, he couldn't play because of physical difficulty. But James, that is extraordinary. 251 consecutive matches for your club. That is beyond human.
Yeah, I mean, good one for Inaki Williams. Just like what you said, every good team one day must come to an end. No matter how long that record is, one day that record will go off. It's either you maybe through suspension or through injury. So you eventually succumb to injury. So it's a good one. You just have to go and take a break, refresh, and then come back. I trust him that he's going to bounce back. He's one of their key players. For someone to have played that long, going to show that he's somebody that they rely on heavily. And I just hope that it's not a serious injury that will keep him out for so long. Because for him to have played that long, you show that they don't joke with him. He's one of their key guys, and I believe he's going to bounce back and continue from. Maybe he's going to start another. I don't know that he's going to have the legs or the fitness to create another consecutive run again. That was same, So I just hope that he bounce back, not only for Atletico Bilbao, but also for Black Stars. The AFCON qualifiers around the corner, and they will need the services. So that's just it.
Okay, James. Let's still stay in Ghana now. Yesterday, Qatari side Al Sadd, they released a statement on social media that they reached a mutual agreement to terminate the Ayew's contract at the club. He's been at the club since 2021, and this season he's been involved in at least 5 goals. He scored 4 goals and created 1 assist. But James, that is quite shocking because we of course we all know how crucial he is to Al Sadd in the Qatari league. But yesterday it was from out of the blues. The club just said, Richard, I know in the coming days, of course, we will learn, of course, why the contract was terminated. But I think to me it came as a shock.
Yeah, if eventually we get to hear what led to his exit, I think it will be from the player. What the club does, what they do, they just come out, give you official statement that they are partnering their company with this player. Thank you for your services. Wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and that's just it. But I believe the only person who can shed more light in this issue, it will be Dede Ayew himself. Maybe later, maybe you can maybe come out and give us reasons why he left. Because I was surprised. He just came out of the blues like that he's leaving the club. I think he won some trophies with them, and he did well for them. He was in good scoring form for them, and for the contract to be terminated just like that, it goes to show that maybe there are some things that have been happening behind the scenes that which we don't know. So it's only I'll be looking for Dede Ayew to come out and shed more light into what really happened. Maybe it might not be this year, might not be next year, maybe after he has retired or something. Might still come out to tell us what happened. But if you're expecting the club to tell you what happened, you wait for a very long time.
Well, in my mind, I want to believe, in the positive side of my mind, I want to believe that maybe he's got a better offer. James, quickly, time is not on our side. Let's talk about the biggest scandal that I have seen in world football. 187 goals in just 2 games, and those matches were between Gulf FC and Kokwima, Lebanon, and of course, Kahunla Rangers versus Mbembu United. Remember last year, these teams were involved in promotion struggle, and 187 goals. One was 95-0, and the other one was a 91-1. It sounds like a basketball scoreline, but James, 7 months down the line, we've not heard anything from the Sierra Leone FA. James, I think this is, I don't know what adjective to use to describe this thing, because they can't, the FA can't claim that they've not had enough time or sufficient time to carry out investigation. 7 months, it's already gone. We've not had anything.
Well, yeah, since the issue broke out, I've not really heard much from that side, whether the clubs were banned for life, whether individuals were kicked out of football for life. I've not heard anything, so maybe we'll still have to dig deep to find out if.
Or maybe that matter has been done in secrecy.
Said?
I said maybe the matter has been resolved in secrecy.
Maybe, because it was a big shame, big scandal for African football. I mean, a team that could not score for how many games, all of a sudden they found their scoring good and just scored 90. I mean, that was atrocious. So like I said, still have to dig deep and see what really happened, whether these teams eventually got hammered or, because, I mean, if you allow it to be swept under the carpet, another team will come out and do the same thing, because you would have set a bad precedent that after when these teams did this, nothing happened. So why we now come hard on us, So it's important that things like this are well dealt with and are taken care of, so that it will discourage other teams from going that route. I mean, because we're talking about corruption here, about it's a big scandal, so you hardly hear such things in other part of the world. But why is it that it's in Africa that we're hearing sad things like this that doesn't develop the game of football in this part of the world? So I mean, like I said, I'll try and check out the FA to see whether any action been taking to curb this very shameful act, in Sierra Leone football.
Okay, I also have a friend. This friend is here alone. Of course, I will be talking to her to understand or to know the latest development. James, let's come to African Player of the Week. Over the weekend, the number of African players they distinguished themselves, in their respective league in Europe. We had Nigeria's David Okereke. He scored a stunner in their 2-1 home defeat to Inter Milan. Then you have Victor Osimhen, who at this moment can't just stop scoring. You can't argue that he's the most informed African player in Europe right now, as well as Ademola Lookman, who is also on fire for Atlanta. Then you have Boubacar Hainikoye in the FA Cup at Old Trafford against Manchester United. He kept Manchester United big signing Anthony quiet for almost all the entire game. So Boubacar Hainikoye had an excellent game, and of course Paul Onuachu, he got a brace in the Belgium playing for Genk. Then Kudus also, Mohamed Kudus, his 7th goal of the season in the Eredivisie. So, James, I'm sure you followed the event over the weekend. Who would be your African Player of the Week?
For me, it's between Ademola Lookman and Victor Osimhen. When you check the league, they're playing in one of the. No, not that. I mean, these guys have been consistent. Look at, for example, somebody like Ademola Lookman. I mean, he's having the best time of his life as a professional footballer. I don't think he has ever scored this much. He's 12th. He's Atlanta's top scorer. So imagine somebody who having his debut season in Serie A, one of the top 5 leagues in the world. So we have to give it to him. But I mean, if I was to choose, I have to go with Victor Osimhen. Osimhen has been consistent. He has shown that if Napoli is going to end their Serie A title drought, because the last time he won it was in 1990, that he's going to lead that charge. Remember, at some point he got injured, and the guy who took his place did well, but he came back and he continued from where he stopped. So, for me, for my player of the week, is going to be Victor Osimhen. 14 Serie A goal. No African player has ever finished top scorer in Serie A, so he's looking good to
125-year history of the league.
Yeah, so he's looking good to make history. So we just have to keep supporting him, hoping that he will eventually make that record. So, and they're doing well. 13 points from Inter Milan. I mean, it's just forward ever from here now. So they just have to keep winning. The game against Roma was a very tough one, but they were able to bounce back. They did very well to echo out that victory. He came out, and after scoring the first goal, he was substituted. The guy who came out, that's the son of Diego Simeone, Giovanni, was the one that got the winner. So good one for Napoli, good one for Victor Osimhen. I just hope that continue scoring, and who knows, maybe at the end of the day, he will become the first African to finish top scorer in the Serie A and also lead Napoli into the Serie A title.
Okay, I absolutely agree with you, because remember, even before now, he's been accused of failing to rise to the occasion in big games, and he's done that in 2 matches this season against Juventus. He got a brace in that one, and of course against AS Roma. Quickly, time is not on our frame, but let's talk about the Ghana Power Premier League in Ghana. Over the weekend, Edwana Stars, they drew Ashanti Kotoko and Arts, they won. So they closed the gap on the table to just 1 point to Edwana Stars. So at the end of the day, I think the owners would rightfully take their place on the league, like James said last week. James, thank you for always coming on the show, for your incisive analysis as always.
Thank you very much, Femi. Look forward to doing another edition. Hopefully, we'll be in the studio to to give our fans what they always want us, what they always want to hear. So look forward to Thursday for our next edition.
Okay, of course, by then, of course, we'll have known the finalists for the 2022 Champions Tournament ongoing in Algeria. Of course, by then, at that time also, we will have known the position of the GFA regarding Arnold Walker, if he will be asked to take a walk. Maybe, too, like his name, Arnold Walker, just take a walk from that position. So our fans around the world, thank you for always staying with us. Unfortunately, this is where we had to draw the curtain on today's show. Please, if you do not get our videos, please click on that notification button and you get the videos as soon as they drop. And of course, there is no time to actually discuss someone again who said George Weah is his own ghost. That is not Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. But I want to ask you, our fans, who is your ghost in African football? I'm sure you follow African football for a while. Who is your own GOAT? As Asamoah Gyan said, it is George Weah, the only African to have won the Ballon d'Or. So let us know, who is your own GOAT in African, as far as African football is concerned? It could be the legend, it could be those that are still playing now. Let us know in the comment section. So we'll see you the next time. I remain Asha Oluwafemi. Bye for now.